Welcome to the Crafty Boys, all 7,000 viewers of ours. This is episode
Well, they don't
49.
know.
Shh, don't tell them.
It's like 10,000.
I know, but we don't want to sound. We've got to be modest. We have to be modest. Welcome to episode 49 of the Crafty Boys, where a bunch of dudes sit around, talk about man stuff, or hashtag man stuff, or better yet, hashtag Canadian man stuff, and we talk about beer. Those are the two things we talk about: stuff and beer. So I'm Shane. I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia. Where are you dudes who can fight over telling where people are?
I'm Alan. I'm in Victoria, BC.
I'm Dave. I'm in the Comox Valley, a little bit north of Allen.
That's
Just a little
really too bad, man. I'm sorry about that. We may or may not have our fourth guest today, but he is. Who knows? I'm talking about Locke, dude. Our fifth guest, Dr. Love, might come back. You never know. Depends if he gets asked a question. So, this week, the beer choice was done by Dave of the Comox Valley.
Wow.
Comox. The Comox Valley, and I think that he should introduce the beer today because it's kind of important.
Is it? Okay. Well, then I really gotta up my.
That's
my
me
game
challenging you
here.
to really sell it.
Yeah.
Beer.
Well, I can't sell it. I've never freaking had it. Actually, I think speaking of never having, I don't believe we have had anything from this brewery before. Correct me if I'm wrong.
This is from which brewery? I've totally forgotten.
Dageraad.
The Dageraad Brewing. Actually, I think we have. I don't remember what it was, but there you go. Of course, we could look back in time on our list to see exactly what it was.
Indeed.
But
We may have.
I think it was. Remember that episode where we did a bunch of sours and we all had a different sour? I think one of us had a sour from Dageraad.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll find out. We'll put a link. We'll put a link in that description down below, and you can go and find it there. Go, dude.
As I'm saying, this is from Dageraad, or I'll attempt pronunciation, Dageraad.
Dageraad. Although that's actually, it's very Game of Thronesy. Dageraad.
It's
What have you been
actually
drinking?
Belgian.
I've been drinking Dageraad.
It's actually Belgian, and there is actually a brewery in this town. It's the name of a town in Belgium.
Cool. You're speaking as if I was serious about the Game of Thrones reference.
Totally.
That's actually, it's not Game of Thrones. It's in Belgium.
No, it's kind of Game of Thronesy, and actually the label is because it's so cool. It's simple.
I can hear the theme song now.
Yes, but it's cool. This one in particular is their London, it's called. And it says it's a Canadian take on a Belgian rendition of an English porter. Strong ale.
Which is interesting.
Yes.
So it's like a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So this should be interesting. It's 7%.
This should be interesting. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like, it's 7%. Yes. This could get interesting. I, of course, have not forgotten the episode where we had, I think, 2 beers that were above 10%, and we just drank them happily like we would normally. And by the end of that particular episode, we're all like, drugs are great. Set our faces on fire. It'll be fine. Well, it did get a little crazy. Yeah. I have totally forgotten what I was talking about, so I'll just shut up. I'm going to open my beer because I can.
Okay.
Now, Dave, you warned us that opening this beer might be a bad idea. Why is that?
Well, not a bad idea, but just undertaken with caution. Because I thought it might get vigorous.
Wow, that's really strong. The unfiltered beer is just...
But it did not. It's totally chill.
Oh, wow, look at that.
That's very beery.
Doing my pour here, sorry. That, oh, wow, the effervescence.
Mm.
Let's see.
Now, of course, we have to mention that Alan is not drinking the beer this evening because he is deathly ill, which is actually kudos because I was going to suggest that if he was deathly ill, that maybe we should not do the show this week just to let him rest. And no, he was like, "No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I just won't drink the beer, but I'm there. I'll be there." So I'm like,
Yep.
"Awesome."
Yes, he's already received props for stick with itness.
All right, Dave, I need you. I'm just going to step away for a second to deliver this pour that I did to my other half, and tell us about what it is special about the international beer units.
Unfortunately, it is not on the bottle.
Nor is it on their
So-
website.
Okay, so you've already looked it up. Well, that is rather unfortunate. Maybe they don't buy into that whole beer units thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess it's a porter, so it's not really going to be. It shouldn't be really bitter. So there shouldn't be a need. It wouldn't log on an IBU scale necessarily.
Oh, sure. Makes sense. Yeah, it's probably going to be a little sweeter, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
That's sort of what I'm anticipating.
So
I like my porters.
let's hear what you think. Now, I will
All right.
point out that I do have this particular beer in my fridge. It's going to stay there until I'm feeling a little bit better, and then I will try it. And maybe for the next episode, I'll give my 2 cents of what I thought of it.
Good plan. Yep. Write down your after action report and
Yeah,
deliver it next time.
The next action report. Don't make him laugh.
Yeah. This is the serious cast this evening. As we're
Yeah,
attempting-
we're actually being very sort of mellow
we're,
today
we're attempting
Yeah, we
not
are.
to not make him laugh.
Yeah.
you can make me laugh. It's all right. All right, I want to hear what you guys think. Tell me what you think of this beer.
Well, the first thing for me is that it smells. It's very strong. Like when it first was opened,
Yeah.
it was
chills
very,
out.
very strong. However, now that it's, I would say, about 2 or 3 minutes that since it's been opened,
It's had a chance to breathe.
yeah, and that's had to, yeah, it's actually really, really, it actually, you know what's really interesting to me? It doesn't smell like a whole lot. Now that it's been opened, it kind of smells just like a warm, crisp morning, like in the summer. Maybe right after a rain, it's kind of that sort of experience. But then, but then of course, tasting it is very, very bubbly.
Yep. I'm
I
getting
would
the
say-
kind of citrus thing.
Yeah, a little bit, definitely a little bit, yeah.
So
Um,
does it taste like an English porter?
No, not at least of the English porters that I have had. It doesn't taste like any of those.
Right.
Because I just had one yesterday.
Okay,
However,
question. What's the quintessential English porter?
ooh,
If somebody
that's a-
says,
that's-
I
that's a
want
very
one,
good
and
question,
you're
actually.
going to say, have this. Because I just realized I thought
yeah.
Guinness, and Guinness is sure as fuck not English.
No, it's
No, but it's not a
Scottish.
porter. It's
It's a
I
stout,
would
right?
think probably I would go with if I were to say if you have never had an English porter, you have to have this particular one.
I mean, what we can get here, obviously.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah.
to. I can't remember the name of it. I taste it. Oh, actually, didn't we have the Mill Street Vanilla Porter?
Yes.
yes, we
Yeah,
did.
and I would say that one. I mean, it's not a traditional porter. It's that's kind of their holiday thing. But I would say that if you wanted to try a porter, but you didn't want to try like a true sort of English bitter, that you could just go with doing just a very sort of simple, um, light vanilla flavor one, because I think it would actually be something that wouldn't be as offensive. Some people don't like bitters. Like I had a bitter yesterday or the day before at Steel Toed Brewery just down the street from me, and it's very bitter. Like it's really it's supposed to be a porter, and but it's a bit lighter, but it definitely had like a bitterness to it that I think some porters can do. Although some porters are really mild and can be just like drinking water. So that's kind of it's sort of one of those things that it's sort of, to me anyway, is back and forth with how they're made, and just you get that sort of, I don't know, it's hard to describe because I like porters and I like bitters, and then you can just get that one that's right in the middle. And this, I think, kind of lives in that zone a bit, of sort of dark beers versus lighter sort of. Because there's also this thing now that I've noticed with people doing dark lagers. So like a lager beer is generally a light beer. It is very much a see-through thing. But now they're doing sort of the dark lager, and I really enjoy those ones. But I've only seen about 2 or 3 of them, so out in the wild. I'm sure there's more, and we've probably actually had some here. But again, those still have the light flavor, but they also have that just a little bit push into the dark, and it's sort of, you kind of have a little bit of the best of both worlds, I guess, is the best way to describe it. So, but again, it's kind of, I think, up some. If you wanted to try something that was not as potentially devastating to your taste buds, you could go with one that does have that flavored sort of feel to it.
Probably the quintessential English porter would be the Fuller's porter. I sent you guys the link to it.
I did see the link.
To be honest, I don't know if I've really seen this around in our parts. I don't know if we can get this locally, but I would say that's sort of the quintessential London porter. So, I mean, you would have to compare it with that. But the London is not an English porter. It's a Belgian reimagining of an English porter.
Yes.
And now it's a Canadian reimagining of a Belgian reimagining of an English porter.
Yes.
Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
Did you just say Purple Monkey Dishwasher?
Yes.
It's very much like we've entered the Matrix now with that sort of.
Yeah.
This is what it really. Welcome to the world of the real. I gotta say, I'm totally confused. I have no idea. Who are you people anyway? I would agree. That is what I would expect. How much sense that would make. So yeah.
You know what though? I'm liking this.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm really, really enjoying it. Yeah, it's got a really nice, smooth aftertaste to it. I've noticed, because there's been a couple where I'm just like, oh man, that started out nice, but the aftertaste, I'm just not liking it.
Yeah.
But I'm finding this one is nice and smooth, and I'm finding too, I think I'm kind of getting a taste for these heavier type beers that have some meat to them, as opposed to, I guess the main thing I think of for like I guess a lighter beer. You guys might disagree, but the lightest I think we've had is the AGD.
Yeah, and that was kind of on purpose because we
light.
had been hitting up a lot of dark lagers for a while.
Yeah.
And that's actually why I thought that one would be a good one, because A, it's from where Locke is from. And it was just not something we normally would have. Because we tend to try to focus mainly on the small breweries that do stuff, but sometimes you just have to dive into, like, I can't wait till the day we actually do like Labatt's Blue. Um, but at some point, you never know. We could very well do it because it is beer, and it kind of ties into the like
But
the
it's not
article that.
craft beer.
Sorry.
It's not craft beer.
I know, but at some point we are going to have to cover beers that could be craft, but not because they started that way.
You could argue that they all started that way.
That is kind of what I'm saying, but you said it far better than I did. But anyway, but the whole thing is that
I don't know about that.
shut up. So yeah, I mean it's just one of those things that I don't know. I just kind of every so often I think about, we focus on the beers that we like, we focus on the beers that we really want to enjoy. But once in a while, it's kind of like you dive back into the pit and you kind of go, what am I going to have here? I think I should try that one, and you kind of give it a whirl. And because, again, they started out somewhere that, was
Okay,
totally
so
worth checking out.
if we're gonna stay within the crafty realm,
Which we're going to do 99% of the time.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
just saying at some point we might dive into something else just for the the giggles of it. So
Well,
the seventh
and
level of hell.
apparently Budweiser is BC's top selling beer.
this
So
this
I
is
mean,
why this is actually why I bring this up because as Alan just pointed out, one of the articles that's been in the news over the past few days is British Columbia is apparently, and I want to really say this very lightly, but it's apparently the mecca for people that drink stuff that I would prefer not to refer to as beer. But Budweiser apparently is the most popular beer in our province, which scares me. It scares me, and I don't. What do you guys think? I don't even I feel like I've been stabbed because it's not something that I would have expected in any
you
way,
know
shape,
what?
or form.
I'm not surprised. And the reason being is that this news was based on data from the BC Liquor Distribution Branch. So the BC liquor stores, they don't sell a lot of craft beer. I mean, they do have craft beer, but not like some other private places do. They
Right.
mostly sell stuff like, Budweiser and stuff like that. Um, Plus, I mean, with Budweiser, when we go and buy this bottle of Dageraad, we're buying a single bottle, right?
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
just
yeah.
go buy that, and it costs, maybe $6 or $7. But you go buy Budweiser, it's like in a 24 can pack that costs, $20.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point.
so the people that are buying Budweiser, they're buying quantity, not quality. So they're paying a little bit more than we are. Um, and if I look at my father-in-law, who is not, he's a beer fan, but he doesn't like craft beer. Um, he'll go through a case of those things. I don't know, in a week.
Hmm.
So I mean, there's no way I could. I don't drink beer that much. And I think that's true of most craft beer fans. Is they like the beer, but they aren't gonna drink it to that level.
Yeah.
Um, at least not that often. But the people who like Budweiser and stuff, they tend to tip a few daily. It's their cigarette, right? I mean,
Yeah, actually, that's probably the best way to put it. Is that it's definitely something that when you, I guess part of it is if you want a beer that if you just want beer, I would like a beer. I don't care what beer, but I want a beer. You could probably that's definitely what I think you're right that most people are doing is that is how they primarily consume beer because they could really care less about. I mean, I'll pick on them. I'll say quality of beer. That they don't necessarily want a beer that is actually any good. They just want a beer that tastes reasonably well, and sorry, at least what they think tastes reasonably well. Because I know that since we've started the show, I have become far more snobbish about the beer that I consume. And also, I've actually noticed that it's more of an event because I don't. I may not drink as much beer as I may have in the past because I've become far more
Discerning.
Like I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And I remember actually drinking beer at a party a little while ago, and it was just awful. It was something horrible. Like it was kind of It was like, extra old stock or something.
Oh my god.
And it was the only thing they do, surprisingly enough.
Really?
But I was at this party. It was the only thing that was available, and I thought, oh well, whatever. I'll have some. It'll be fine. It wasn't. It really wasn't fine, because I think I took a beer and I drank maybe, I don't know, that much of it, and then I just sort of held it for a while, and eventually somebody said, "Hey, do you want another beer?" Yeah, totally. Hit me with one, and I actually just kind of dumped because it was in the backyard of somebody. It was in somebody's backyard. It wasn't like in their living room, so I did have the ability for deniability of I totally drank it. But really I just tossed it out because it was just that bad. So I
hope those people don't watch this podcast.
They probably don't. So I did just take the next bottle, and then I didn't drink it at all. Actually, I think I held it and eventually dumped it in their nearest planter. So yeah, kind of a dick, but really, the beer was just. I couldn't believe it was actually beer. Like it tasted like soda, like pop. Like it was just this thing where you ingest it, and your body says, why did you do that? Like what did I do wrong? Why are you torturing? Like it was just brutally. It was so brutal that I just didn't quite get why. Honestly, why anyone would drink that shit, because it was just that bad. So anyway, but at the end of the day, it was okay. We survived. We didn't die. And I really think that they can keep that beer, and I will not be a fan. But at some point, we might, and I think we might run into being a Budweiser place or province, that we might actually review one or two, even though technically they fall outside of our sort of. Although I think we've had some beers that don't really fall into the craft thing, but I think that's because we enjoy them way too much. So yeah, there you go. I think that it's unfortunate that we are not why do people drink this stuff? Why are you tortured? That's not beer. That's awful. Yeah, so
well, it's interesting. I know some guys who drink that kind of stuff, and they say the same thing to me. How can I drink that the stuff that we drink? They don't consider to be beer.
Okay, well,
and I don't understand
the first thing you have to do is unfriend them entirely, cut them off on your leg, because that's ludicrous. But yeah. What else? Yeah.
How was your guys' Valentine's Day?
What did I do for Valentine's Day?
Think very carefully and speak very carefully.
Well, I'm assuming that Alan heard it. Maybe Dave did deafness. You didn't. Allison shouted from the other room, "Nothing!" So there you go. Well, there was actually a reason that we did nothing. A very good reason. Um, Allie got me a present.
Ooh. I want to
Um,
hear about it.
and it was pretty good. Actually, Allie, I'm leaving this open for you to actually do something that insults me. No, you got nothing? What?
Where are my flowers?
Where are my flowers? See, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. I'm trying to remember. What did we do for Valentine's Day? Hey, Allie, what did we do for Valentine's Day?
Because this year was on a Sunday.
Locke slept over.
Oh, right. That's why. So anyway, on the 13th of the pre-day Valentine's Day, it was Valentine's Eve. We actually went to a friend's party in North Van, and they had a party. They're a single person, so they thought they would throw a single person party, and invited a whole bunch of people that weren't single as well. But that was the main goal, and I took Locke with me, along with Allison, and Locke proceeded to enjoy himself on the beer that we are going to have to do very soon because it was just a strange beer and very interesting craft. He picked something really just randomly off the shelf. He's like, Crafty or this one. I've never heard of it. Let's try this. And but the big problem is it was a very strong beer, and Locke slept on my couch and spent more than half the day here in at our place.
So what
So
you're saying is he cramped your style.
You owe me.
he cramped my style.
You owe me.
I owe Allison, as she has stated in the background. But here's the interesting thing: is that even though the day was cramped, the style was cramped. Um, I wasn't able to make a night of it, to do something that evening because I had not an improv class, a stand-up class. So so it was kind of one of those things where just the day was spoken for, and the day that we had that at least I had secretly sort of coveted for doing something with Allison, Locke was snoring on my couch. So, which is fine. It's whatever. It's not a big thing. But it definitely was style cramping, as you pointed out. Dave, actually, we'll come to you last, Dave. Alan, what did you do? Although I think you might have been sick, so maybe you didn't do anything.
Well, actually, it was a Sunday, so I gave my wife some flowers. Unfortunately, my middle kid had a soccer game scheduled right smack dab in the middle of the day, actually in the afternoon. So it started about, I guess, 3 and probably went till about 5:30 or something like that. And then we had to go and find some dinner and stuff, and then put the kids to bed and all that. So actually, not a lot. It was fairly uneventful. Yay!
Yay! Okay, well,
By the way,
I'm
turned
sorry.
into a
I have to
Cylon
bring this
then.
up. I have to bring this up for you, Dave. What did you do for Valentine's Day?
Oh, you have to.
I'm sure it was very
You ducks
interesting.
out of the way. Is that a dog barking at me?
That's right. That's totally what it was. So did you actually? So did you do anything? What did you take your mom out?
Okay, that just went really, really weird. No.
So since we're still talking about Valentine's Day, I just want to mention this. There's a hotel here in Victoria called Hotel Z. Have you guys heard of this?
The which one?
It's called Hotel Z. It's across the street from Baker Mall on the street.
Oh yeah, the '70s one. Yeah. I
Yeah,
stopped in there to check it out actually when I was there last.
So they had this neat promotion that they were setting up over, I think it was the weekend of Valentine's Day and into like a few days into this week, called the Nooner. And
Wait a minute. Sorry, I just realized what you said.
the Nooner.
That's kind of
So
awesome. Actually.
essentially, you rent the room, you get it for 3 hours, and you do what you want in the room at that time. Apparently, they're
Let's snort some coke off of and blah. Anyway, sorry. What? So did you actually partake in the nooner?
No, I didn't partake, but they had this interesting marketing thing that they did on social media where they actually had a picture of I don't want to say an elderly couple, but they weren't young. Um, like there was an old guy laying down on the bed, and his female partner was wearing like lingerie and putting a glass up to the wall so she could hear the people in the next room. And then they had another one that's a picture of two guys, obviously homosexuals, um, uh, pouring each other wine. It was actually really cool.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
It was really awesome.
So what specifically did what was the sort of big reveal? Like, what did they say? How many sort of people had taken them up on this?
No, they didn't say how many. They did it last year, and they said it was popular, so they were doing it again. But they didn't provide any hard numbers.
Seriously?
There are no hard numbers.
Oh, God. Oh. By the way, Shane,
Yeah, sorry, I was ignoring you there.
are you hearing the Cylon?
Yes, but I wasn't going to bring it up, so thanks for that, Dave. Jackass. So anyway, yeah, no, Alan,
What?
you're siloning again. Your internet connection is being interrupted with somewhere. So hopefully it won't bother people too much. So we've talked about some of the beers we've had, the unfortunate experience that we've had here in BC with being apparently a Budweiser nation. However, something that actually is happening in Ontario is they are talking about taxes for wine and beer going up, and we've actually discussed this a little bit already. Just thinking about just stuff that might be happening here, like the we've had the Alberta sort of banning of almost not banning, but it felt like, to be honest, banning of beers from outside their province. And stuff like that. So, are we concerned about this here? Are we even thinking maybe that this is something we should worry about, or should we just totally ignore it?
I'm down with ignoring.
Cool. Alan, anytime now.
Ignore.
Yeah, I agree.
Am I still siloning?
Oh, good.
Oh, okay, good. I can
No,
talk
no.
now. No, you know what? I mean, governments have to balance the books, and it's a simple fact that it's easy to tax things like beer and wine and cigarettes and all the rest of it, and to cover things that are, in the healthcare sector, that's where these things contribute to adversely.
That's very delicately put.
Well, yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's talk about here in BC we have to pay MSP premiums for our health care.
Yeah.
A lot of provinces don't have to do something like that. It's just, you just get your health care. And
Sure.
I, to be honest, I hate MSP. I hate having to pay MSP premiums. But at the same time, if the government takes away the MSP premiums, they'll just have to they'll have to get the money from somewhere. So they're going to have to tax us in some other way to get it. Does that make sense?
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I don't like the idea of MSP premiums, but the money's going to come from somewhere else then.
And that would suck if it came from places like not, well, where it's coming from now. Which made absolutely no sense to what I'm talking about.
Well, and MSP premiums are expensive too. I mean, for I've got a family of 5, and with that family of 5, it's just under $400 a month.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're really expensive. And luckily, my employer pays for it. But yeah, that's a lot for a family to, if they didn't have my employer, if they had to pay for it themselves out of pocket, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. Wow.
Especially for a free healthcare system.
By the way, I just got an email from Locke 15 minutes ago. He tried signing in, but he's of course using the BC Ferries Wi-Fi on a boat. So, yeah. So he tried to join us tonight. Yeah.
Nice try.
They hate YouTube, which is what does the streaming.
Yeah.
So you would have been blocked. So anyway, he's back tomorrow or tonight, and he will, of course, be back next week. Because although honestly, I just thought it would be very. I just got another email regarding YouTube. Somebody named Ben Ford just subscribed to our podcast. Way to go, Ben Ford!
Just?
And I will just tell you right now that you're not old enough to use YouTube services. So
No,
your parents must be degenerates.
Did he just? Like
I know. Why
like
has he not
now?
been watching since the beginning?
No, I'm saying like, did he do it just now?
At 9:43, yeah. So about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, jeez.
Get to bed, Ben.
Really? He is in bed. He's been in bed for almost 2 hours.
Busted! There's gonna be some talking with a leather belt in a little while.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
thank you, Ben Ford, for subscribing and also busting yourself on. You're supposed to be in bed sleeping, dude. I'm assuming he must have some portable device in there, and let that be a lesson to your parents, Ben. Oh wait, I mean Alan. So
Wow. Someone has some splaining to do.
that is so awesome.
Oh.
Did he just yeah? And why is that a big deal? And you were like, he just did it? Yeah, 10 minutes ago. Uh-huh. So there you go, Ben. You little child.
Guy.
Which is actually quite interesting. We actually have some comments from some of our past episodes.
We do?
We do, yeah. This guy named Alan Ford is like, fantastic show, and I'm like, yeah, right on, dude. That
must
is
must be related to Ben.
Yeah, it must be related to Ben somehow. So anyway, again, we're not worried about taxes, so there you go. Because the money, as you said, is going to come from somewhere. Is there anything else on your mind tonight, boys? We've had a lot of talk in the last couple weeks about a variety of things that we could touch on again. However, we are also running up to a new seasonal section, I think, of the year. At least I'm hoping it will be. Beers are hitting the market because the holidays are definitely over. They're running out in the stores. So, any
This is
wishes
true.
and hopes? Any wishes and hopes for what might be coming for? So, I mean, there's a few breweries that do a few spring ones. I mean, but of course, I'm talking really more about the run up to summer. What's going to be coming? Sort of the summer seasonals usually hit around end of May, beginning of June. So it's still a ways off. However, it's worth anything on the street you guys have heard so far.
No. There was one that I saw. I saw a tweet from, I can't remember who it was. But anyway, they were setting up a seasonal beer that would be coming out soon, and it looked like it was maybe going to have black currants in it.
Interesting.
Sounds good.
What was it anything particular that you thought about it that was a good idea or no?
Well, I've never seen a beer with black currants in it before.
Oh, really?
So,
No, I've actually seen a couple.
oh, have you?
Yeah. Usually they're porters though, so like they're usually really dark and they're just nice.
Yeah.
But I think I've run out of ideas for today. I really have. And I also am trying to pay attention to Alan actually being not quite on his game today. So maybe we'll just cut it there tonight, just because we've only had one beer. We're down really two people, and Dave just can't handle the pressure of holding up his side of the island. So
No, it's too much.
it's way too much. Yeah. So. I think we'll leave it there, boys and girls, and I really hope that our new subscriber, Ben Ford, is going to be up every Wednesday night from about 9 until about 10:30, making sure that he's watching and hanging on every word, because he's a connoisseur of the best beers out there, and he's a very good, valued member of our audience. In other words, in about 5 minutes, dude, you better be snoring. Eyes closed under the covers and breathing very slowly and deeply. Otherwise, no level of international beer units are going to save you, my son. Oh my God. So thank you everybody for listening, and of course we're going to be here every Wednesday night doing what we love to do, and I certainly hope that you guys come along and let us know what you think, because we got all kinds of stuff that we could talk about, and we always love suggestions from people out there, and of course you always are welcome to watch us live as we just talk our brains out. Normally. So, Dave, if people are looking for you, if they're not going to go to the Twitter account, the Crafty Boys, or if we're not going to be them coming to our site, what should they be doing, sir?
I'm not really sure. I mean, they can try the Twitters still, with my own personal account, which is of little account really, but it's the Fool is the account that I use, and I'll insert air quotes there. It's the PHULE. That's my account handle. Yes.
And Alan, when you're not studying like a madman, doing your studying for courses and things that you do at night, which is admirable in a huge way, where can they find you online?
Online? Yeah, so I'm at a
Hey Alan, our podcast is online. Guys, we were gonna tell you that.
Oh, they've got the internet on computers now.
It's computers.
Well, they can find me on a website, www.fetishporn. No, I'm kidding. They can go on the Twitter at Alan M. Ford. Or they can go onto my MySpace account.
Oh, sweet.
It's there. It's there. I forget my password. I don't know how to get into it. But it's still there. So you could contact me that way. MySpace.
Right on.
Yeah. But that's about it. Otherwise, you could just whisper my name, and the wind just go, "Alan, are you there?" And I will be there. I will arrive.
Wherever there's a guy whispered my name, I'll be there.
All right. Oh.
Sorry, I'm writing that down. Wherever there's a dude who's. Anyway, thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday night. And don't forget to tell your friends. Spread the word, spread the gospel, and spread.
Love.
That's what he said. What that guy down there, right over there, said.
Right over there.